am so sick of people talking about the economy and how people need to just stop buying coffee or wait till they can afford kids to have them. It's tough out here for everyone. I'm a controls engineer. I have a good job. I've been doing this for a minute. You can Google a controls engineer salary. I should be able to live very comfortably as a single man with 3 kids. I should have no financial struggles. I should be able to afford a home. I should be able to afford a brand new car. And all of this while taking trips and having vacations. And I live in a trailer. I drive a fairly new car, yes. But I have to budget. Like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I cannot get ahead. I do not buy expensive clothes. I do not take expensive trips. I do not put stuff on credit card. I'm not there yet. But for what I make, I should live very comfortably, and I don't presently. I thought at one time if I made as much as I make now, I would be rich and have no problems. And that's probably true 8 years ago. But over the past 5 years, I have seen my standard of living substantially drop. I am living a lower middle class lifestyle. And I make good money. I don't drink my coffee out. I make it at home every day. I carry my lunch. I take my kids to fast food maybe once a week, 30, 40 bucks. I have a Planet Fitness membership. I shop at discount clothes. I thrift for almost everything. So telling people to just stop buying coffee and they could afford a home or just to wait a little bit till they can afford kids is just gaslighting people. We're being robbed by our government, through the hands of corporations, by our government's control. And hearing people and reading comments that people are just don't get it. They really don't. I feel bad for my kids. I feel bad for people starting out today. Gen X didn't have it very easy. The millennials didn't have it very easy. And I don't know what Gen Z is going to do. We're in a bad situation in this country financially. We're $38 trillion in debt, and they're about to turn the printers on again, which is going to cause even more inflation and even more problems. So I don't have easy answers, but telling people to stop buying coffee and wasting money, like that's we're past that. We're way past that. It's time to do something. I don't know what, but something's got to give.
So our resident Snow here says that he makes, I'm assuming 6 figures because I pulled up what a controls engineer makes. And I was, I anticipated that it was going to be around this much, but, he says that he's making, I'm assuming, anywhere between 90 and probably about 150, 160 per year, depending on where he lives. And he says that he makes 6 figures a year and basically he's broke. And if you would have told him 8 years ago that he would be making this, now he's no young guy. So because he's not a real young guy, I'm assuming that he's been doing this for a while. And if you've been doing this for a while and you've been making 6 figures, I'm trying to understand now. Again, I want y'all to be absolutely honest with me because, again, this show is not a show about me. This is a show about us. You are my co-host for the show, and you provide me with the feedback that I need. So I'm trying to understand how a control systems engineer that make anywhere from starting off 70 for mid-level roles, 70 to 100 for mid-level roles, reaching 100 to 130K, 100 to 150K if you were a major automaker like Nissan or Ford. So let's just round it off and say that you make about $110,000, $120,000 a year. You are a single man. You are living in a trailer. You don't have any major responsibilities that you told us about outside of your 3 kids. And I will also say that having 3 kids, it's a big difference between having 3 kids and having 1 kid. I don't know if he's spending all of his money on their extracurricular activities. I don't know if he has a bunch of student loans. I don't know if he's paying child support or alimony or he previously got divorced. I'm not sure what all of this stuff is. But usually, what I see from a lot of these people that make these videos and they're looking for some type of feedback where they're trying to say, hey, man, this economy is hit. I don't know what's going on. Everybody is struggling. If you are making between 110 and 120 per year and you are a single man, and I need y'all to really give me some feedback based off of your own lived experiences as well as what you see happening in real life, not on the internet, but what's happening in real life. What is your expectation for how you should be living your life? And do you think that it is too expensive out here in society in the United States of America for you to be able to live a fruitful life? Mel says the culture online is about coddling each other to be broke to introduce socialism. It's a psyop. A trailer, I would get rid of that car and rent a house. People have a spending issue because he may not want to accept the fact that he needs more income. He's already old and probably doesn't want to learn a new skill. I don't think you need to learn a new skill as a controls engineer. Could have saved money by not getting tattoos. I shop cheap and own everything and I buy cheap. Budget seems off. 100 grand. Don't do it like it used to. Really? It doesn't. I lived okay when I made 100K a year. My rent was under 1K a month and I had one child, no real debt. Bad spending habits. He has been impacted with every crisis, starting with the crash of 08. He may have gotten caught up in extreme debt that he adjusted and has been able to slowly live without losing everything. Children aren't expensive. That car payment probably killing him. He has 3 kids. Hello. Some people aren't good with managing money. It's the 3 kids for him. You can't live anywhere unless you clear over $80,000 per year. Really? What are y'all talking about? Did y'all just say that you can't live anywhere unless you make at least $80,000 per year? I know guys that make significantly less than that, make $60,000 to $65,000 a year, and they're doing great. They're doing incredible. They don't have any kids, illegitimate kids that they're paying child support for. They don't even have children. They don't have any car notes. Cars is paid for. They enjoying life. They travel a lot. They don't have no debt. They don't have any student loans, and they doing incredibly well. So what is y'all life like? What are y'all doing with y'all money? The average person does not make $80,000 a year. What are y'all talking about? And this guy said he's in a trailer. He's in a trailer. So let's assume that his expenses is $1,200 for living expenses. And let's assume his car note is $400 and $450 a month. And then you add food and insurance and all of this stuff. So let's say total he got a $3,000 per month budget. Everything else outside of that is self-inflicted. Shout out to the new bag chasers. Everything else outside of that is self-inflicted. I am so confused, bro. I'm so confused. I don't know what y'all doing with y'all money. I have done budgets after budget after budget. I have looked at budgets and I found so much extra inside of that budget. And a lot of people are eating their food. A lot of people are door dashing their way out in life. A lot of people are tricking it out, going out to eat every day. A lot of people are spending it on shopping and all of this stuff. I forgot about what about taxes? If you make $120,000 a year, Let's say you pay $20,000 to $30,000 in taxes. You still sitting on 90,000. You sitting on 90K. 90K is the equivalent of about $8,400 a month. Clear a month. You telling me you can't live on a little more than 8K a month? Clear after taxes. That's assuming that you claiming one. Are you telling me you can't live off of 8K a month? Y'all can't live on 8K a month? Boy, on 8K a month, I can make some stuff shake. On 8K a month, I can make some stuff shake. I could definitely get there. Oh, I could 100% get there on 8K a month. Absolutely. After rent, I don't even really have no expenses. I'm paying my rent and I'm chilling. And here's the other caveat. There are plenty of nice places. I don't know where y'all live, but I've traveled all around the country and I've seen rent for $1,000 a month all day long, every day. I've seen rent for $1,000 every single day, all day long. I can go and find rent right now for $1,000 a month. Rent. Man, look at all of these units. 3,200 units. What city y'all want to go to? Let's go to a middle city. Let's go to Atlanta. Atlanta is in the middle of the country. Atlanta for rent. Price, I want it to be from $800 to $1,200. That'll put me squarely in that space. For rent, $800 to $1,200. It's a ton of places all over Atlanta. All over Atlanta. Studios, one bedrooms, 11, studio, one, 4 beds, 1 bed, 2 bedrooms, $950 a month, $1,100 a month, $1,100 a month, $950 a month, $949, $1,088 a month. And it's so many different, it's 1,000 pages. So okay, so now that we put that to rest, because if I say, well, Anton, you living in Metro Detroit, so it's cheaper. So you telling me all of these places is gonna be infested with roaches? Y'all lying, man. Y'all lying. Every single place that you go to, look at this. Are they by decent schools? Make your school decent. It's literally dots across the entire Atlanta landscape. Look. Because I see some of y'all saying, well, those places aren't usually nice. All right, cool. So let's evaluate that, Sierra. Let's evaluate that, Sierra. Because you're saying most of these places aren't necessarily that nice, right? Nobody said that you was going to be living in a lap of luxury if you're paying $950 a month. You're paying $950 a month so that you can stack. If I'm paying $950 a month and I don't have any other real expenses outside of food and transportation, I could literally limit my lifestyle to $2,000 a month. And if you're making that amount of money that he says that he's making, that means you stacking $6K. Stacking $6,000 a month and you discipline for the next 2 years will put you at $140,000 saved. Bro, you make the small time sacrifice. You do it for 3 years. You got $210. You're basically buying a house cash and you can literally pay it off. And then that's when you start to level up. By then, you could sell that house or move into a different one, or you can rent it off and you can start to do all of this stuff. How are you what do you expect for them to do? You want them to have a chef a private chef inside of the place. That's the whole idea. Listen, I'm there to sleep. I go there to sleep. I go there to use the internet, and I put a couple things in the refrigerator. The rest of the time, I'm out and about. You a grown man. Now, I don't expect for women to work 2 jobs, but if I'm a man, listen, if I'm a guy and I'm a man that is single and I have no responsibilities, like he said, outside of his children, you have no other choice but to work, stack, run it up, invest in your business. And then I'm going to do that in the daytime because he probably works 8 to 9 hours a day. The other, get a part-time job where you working 4 hours during the week, and then you do 8 to 10 hours on the weekends. You could probably take advantage of some overtime. So you're probably going to be making more than that. And then you run up a bag. You stacking, man, you have no clue. I have stacked 70, 80, 100,000 a year. Sometimes you can get a 2-bedroom for 14 and split it. And that way you only paying $700 a month because you got a roommate. You stay down for the next 2 to 3 years, nigga. You up for the rest of your life. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I'm gone. I don't have no I don't have no assets in the house. The only thing I got in there is a TV, some internet, a laptop that I'm probably carrying with myself. And that's just a place for me to sleep. I'm not even gonna put no money into that. All I need is a bed, a dresser, a closet, and a refrigerator. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm running it up. I'm chilling. I'm staying down for the next 3 years. All I'm doing is stacking and investing, stacking and investing, stacking and investment. Bro, if you would have invested over the last 2 to 3 years alone, and you were stacking up and you were saving at 60, 70,000 and you was minimizing your lifestyle, a lot of people were getting 30 and 40 and 50% returns on their portfolio, depending on what they were investing in. If you wasn't investing in NVIDIA and all of that stuff, you was more than doubling that. So now you was taking that 70 and you was getting it to 130 or 100. Let's just say 100. You getting that to 100, nigga, that's your house. You ain't got no house note no more. If you was stacking and literally living like you was poor, and all you did was invest, and all you did was do what we told you to do inside of the Patreon on Stock Club, and you stayed down, you minimized your expenses. Hey, mom, I want to come back home. I'll help with the rent. I'll help with the little utilities around here. And, I just need to stay down for the next 2 to 3 years, and I'm going to stack them. I'm going to save. Anton, that's not possible. That's exactly what my brothers did. That's exactly what I did. Both of my older brothers did the exact same thing. My younger brother did the exact same. All 4 of us did the exact same thing. My older brothers, they didn't know any better, so they broke out on their own at first. And then after a year, they said, hey, we about to come back home, and we just going to save. They both practiced group economics, and then they bought their house together. They saved up for 2.5 years, and then they bought their house together, took their families, and then eventually they saved up, and then the other one went off, and he bought his house cash too. And my younger brother did the same thing. We don't have no house notes. None of us. We have no house notes. All we did was practice group economics. We minimized. We didn't get no car notes, wasn't no stunting, wasn't no balling, wasn't none of that. We all just stayed down and ran it up and then paid for the house. We'd never have a house note. My daughter, it's going to be the same thing. She'll never have a house note. I honestly don't understand what y'all doing. Some of y'all say I can't live with family members. Go get you a roommate. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got nobody that you can do a roommate with. Zero people. Zero people that you can do. Somebody said the economy is bad. He just said he a controls engineer. You don't have to have a new car. You don't have to take a vacation. Take 3 years off for a vacation. Take 3 years off. You got the rest of your life to ball. I'm confused. I'm honestly. No, I'm not. I got a younger brother. I'm the middle. I'm the middle. You got the rest of your life to ball. You can literally just live off of nothing. Noodles, but the chilled, regular food. Listen, no bread, lettuce wraps. Lettuce is cheap. Strawberries, grapes. Eggs is cheap. You can get 2 dozen eggs for nothing. And you know how many different meals you can make with eggs? Egg sandwiches, omelets, boiled eggs, fried hard. Boy, you know how many different things you can make with eggs? And it has the best protein. If you boil it and then you slice it and you remove the yolk and you only want to do just the egg whites, boy, you killing it. You know how many different things you can make with eggs? Eggs, 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 eggs stacked. Stack on eggs, eggs on eggs, and I'm running it up. 3 years, I'm gonna be so tired of eggs, I ain't gonna never have to eat an egg again if I don't want to.